Hey, welcome back to the Food Forest. One of the things that gets asked often on this channel is how can I make an impact if I don't have any land? Over the past couple weeks I've been visiting some of my old guerrilla plantings to see if they're actually growing or not. For those of you who don't know, guerrilla planting is when you plant on land that's actually not yours. I've been doing this for about 10 years now, but really got into it in earnest maybe about 5 years ago. It's one thing that I've really enjoyed doing, and as much as creating a food forest on my own property has been super rewarding, I think the most joy that my soul gets is when I see something that was not planted on my land that's growing and thriving. Now, I have a video called No Land, No Problem. Definitely check that out before you go do this, because we can do a lot of damage to ecosystems if we don't know what we're doing. When in doubt, research local, native, non-invasive plants and stick to those. So let's get going. I'll take you first to a black walnut that I planted about 10 years ago. And then I'll take you to some service berries that I planted just, I don't know, maybe around 3 years ago, 4 years ago. These are actually at my office. And I hid these. This is kind of what I call HOA subterfuge, and this is where you hide things in existing plants. This is a technique that I picked up over the last while because I was finding some of my earlier plantings were getting mowed over or destroyed. This is a way that you can kind of hide them in plain sight. Hope you enjoy. So we are here at a little walking path near my job, near my work. This is where I used to come maybe 10 years ago and walk all the time at lunch. And one fall I decided that I would grab some black walnuts and plant them 10 years ago. And here is probably one of my first guerrilla planting black walnuts. I haven't checked on this one in a while, but it is just absolutely thriving here. And you can see that just a small little action taken maybe 10 years ago has created this beautiful tree that now is probably dropping walnuts, making little saplings anywhere. Maybe not yet. But just a walnut buried in a wild space. 10 years later. Beautiful. Hey, welcome back. We are at a certain office building here that I started guerrilla planting, and these are some service berries that I added in. So we are actually going to harvest some of this. So this is kind of one of the nice things about small actions being done a while ago, is that these plants are fairly mature now. They're doing really well all by themselves. Sitting out here, there's a little park bench here. Nobody knows that these were guerrilla planted. Nobody knows that I was the one that planted these. They just look like they should have always been here. And instead of useless boxwood that was previously there and might have a, you know, an old dead stump, these service berries took over the spot and are now providing food for both birds and then also for, I don't know, me. So let's harvest some of these. Okay, so here's some other ones. These are the real sneaky ones here. So this is kind of how you get it where the landscaping crew won't clear it. So you just hide them in the other bushes, and then people don't really know, or they think that the landscaping crew actually did this. So we got tons. Like, I mean, just look at all this food for the birds here. As people who I work with drive by looking at me like I'm a crazy person filming the landscaping outside of my office building. So here's some more. Same thing, just typical useless plants that they put in there. Hide a little sapling in there. Kind of cut it back and make sure that it has some sun over the years, and eventually it gets up and is just part, you know, integrated into the overall landscaping plan. It's kind of fun. Another one here. So it's kind of fun how well this worked. This is actually the first year that they put fruit on. So it's kind of going to be interesting to watch it over the next day or so to see how quickly this gets emptied out. If it's anything like at home, it'll be like a day or so until the birds get at these. But this would have been just useless ornamental landscaping and small action a few years ago that nobody noticed. We've actually got functional ecosystems being built. Birds will be eating these and depositing them for me from here on out. So my job's done, and now I can let nature kind of continue the work. This is why small little actions can really have a profound impact on restoring nature. And look at this, we might have some customers soon. Are you getting that? Yeah. Well, what we're going to do now is take half of those and we're going to smush them up and plant them. We're going to plant them near a little bit of a stormwater management pond here because it's not really maintained. Right here, for example, you know, this is an area you could try it, but because they mow, it's likely just going to get mowed over, so you're just going to be wasting your time. So have a look when you're doing this kind of stuff where you can add things in where they likely won't get mowed. Keep in mind, you know, the edges of roads and cul-de-sacs could get developed down the future and just pulled out. This is really a long-term plan, so you don't want to be putting things in here, for example, because if they ever extend this road, all your hard work's just going to get undone. So you're looking for areas also where the ground cover kind of will allow for a sapling tree to get up. So planting in the middle of this might not be a good idea. I guess, yeah, no, I'm actually certainly not gonna plant anything on land that's not mine because, you know, just heads up, that's technically illegal. So we're not gonna do that. But you know, were you to be so inclined, you would want to do it in a way that allows the tree to get up over on the native ground cover. So that's what you're kind of looking for. I also like to look for nitrogen fixers, for example. We've got a lot of vetch here, so this is vetch. That's a nitrogen fixer. That's what I'm looking for when I don't plant. Now also areas like this, these kind of medians, these can be good areas also, but I typically like to put in established trees, so I might grow them on my property first and then give them a year there, dig them up and bring them here. Because if you plant right into here just with smushed up seeds, they're just going to pull them out because they're going to think that they're weeds. So, you know, grounds crew actually does come in here and pull these out. What you want to do if you're planting in something more open like this, you know, obviously you wouldn't want to do that because you'd get in trouble, but were one to be so inclined, you would want to, you know, stake it off and make it look official, make it look like the city did that. And that way, you know, the grounds crew, who's typically not the planting crew, they'll leave it alone because they'll think that it's official. And just for the record, look at this. This is not how you plant a tree. Mulch volcano right up, no root flare. This tree is getting absolutely smothered. Look at the response. We've got suckering coming up from the roots. This tree is going to die a short, premature death. And it's all because of poor planting. So when you're planting a tree, you want to have the root flare exposed. I might come back here and dig some of these out. It's just so sad to see when you know a tree is just doomed because of someone doesn't know how to plant a tree. So when I'm talking about, you know, how the city will plant trees and often they don't know what the heck they're doing, you know, this is kind of proof. They have no idea. Look at all these mulch volcanoes all the way down here. Just no clue. And the trees are all gonna die a premature early death and struggle until they do. Okay, well, thanks for watching. That was fun. We did something small a little while ago. We got a little bit of a reward for seeing our plants grow. It's kind of really nice to see that stuff happen. I actually can't even describe how nice that is. It seems like it's nice. Go do it. Go learn how to do it properly. Watch my video called No Land, No Problem. Check that one out. That has a little bit more guides on how to get started doing this, some warnings about doing this. Be very, very cognizant that anytime you're making changes to an ecosystem, you are potentially triggering a whole bunch of snowball effects that'll happen from there. So make sure you always plant with local native plants. Make sure you plant things that are beneficial to nature. Make sure you learn about plants before you start spreading genetics around. It's really, really important. I can't underestimate how important that is, but it's rewarding. So when you do this and then you see bird activity picking up around the plants, you see them growing well, it's really nice. It's really, really, really rewarding. So give it a try. Do something good for the planet. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.